Video I'm going to show you how to draw hair. So the trick to drawing hair is to show the lights and the darks, which feels weird when you start, but just trust me. So for example, if you look at this picture of my hair, you can see that like right here where the hair is being tucked behind my ear, there's a shadow. So I'm not talking about hair being like actually different colors. My hair is all brown, for example. Boring, right? And what we're looking at is cracks between chunks of hair and then hairs that have sort of caught the light or are glinting, okay? So, you know, like the background is a solid color, right? This is solid. This is like very flat looking. Your hair, even though in your brain you're like, it's a solid color, it's all brown or black or blonde or whatever color, it's not, there's highlights and shadows in it, right? So here's a darker spot where my hair is kind of swooping over my forehead. It's a little darker right here, but then up here it's a little lighter, you know? Over here it's pretty easy to see. It's dark and then lighter and then dark. If you have curls in your hair, within every curl you're going to have a darker hole and then the swoop of the curl where the tip of it's lighter. I'll show you how to do that on an extra sheet of paper. So the first thing you're going to do is draw in these dark spots, and most of you are going to use an ebony pencil for that. The only exception would be somebody who has like very blonde hair, like I'm talking Nordically blonde hair, where you don't see any spots that are this dark in your hair. Most of you, there are some, okay? So what you're going to do to start is you're going to pay attention to the direction of your hair and the length of your hair. So with the ebony pencil, you're going to draw on long hairs that go in the same direction. So this is where it's like tucked behind my ear, so I'm like making it darker there, and then it's extra dark, almost solidly black in that spot where it gets tucked behind the other piece of hair, which is right there. Okay, down here I'm even gonna just like color it because it's so solid, but I'm coloring in the direction of the hairs. You know, the hairs lay this way. Now out in the middle, I'm going to do some spots, you know, like that's this spot right here where there's kind of a crevice in between hairs. And then after I have the spot on there, I'm going to surround it by lighter lines, otherwise it'll start looking polka dotty. Okay, so this is sort of like a liney way to fade it out. Now if you have a cowlick like me, up here it's not going to be all perfectly straight because like my hair sort of goes up and then down, and you're going to draw that if that's how it looks. And so this is kind of a good example of if you have shorter hair, what you might be doing. You might be using shorter brush strokes and just kind of generally doing the edges of your hair. If it's hard to see, you're just going to draw darker lines on the edges. After you have all of your darker spots on there, then you're going to add in all the medium lines, okay? So if you have black hair, probably you'll still use the ebony pencil to draw in the medium lines. If you have lighter brown hair, you could maybe switch and use the regular pencil, which is what I'm going to do. And so now you're just filling in all the lines of your hair just to show all that liney texture. And you're really paying close attention to the direction and the length. After you have all the lines drawn on in your hair and you've kind of filled in all the spots, then you're going to take the then you're going to take the blending stump and you're going to go over your whole head. I had some technical difficulties in filming the hair. I did the whole thing and somehow it didn't save correctly. So what I'm going to do is just kind of talk you through the rest. What you have so far is all of the lines of the hair, okay? And what you're ready to do next is to take the blending stump and kind of go over all of the hair to just kind of add in all those medium gray shades. So all you're going to do is use the side of the blending stump, not the tip, and you're going to just kind of go over the whole thing, paying attention to the length and direction so that all of it basically just kind of is a little bit blended while also showing all of the lines. So you're just going to go over the whole thing, okay? After you have done that, the very last step is to take either an edge, like a little corner of block eraser, or you can use a pencil eraser, also works really nicely. And you're going to look at where on your photo the hair is sort of glinting in the light. So on mine, I'm going to maybe do the middle of this wave and maybe over here and maybe a little bit on top. And you're just going to erase in those highlight lines. And you can see I've already done that a little bit, but I'll just do a few more just to kind of show you. So I'm going to just kind of erase in lines, almost like individual hairs. So, you know, so definitely pay attention to length and direction. And, you know, you're just sort of just kind of showing a few hairs that have sort of caught the light. And it just adds a little bit more dimension. So when you're done, you should have hair that has really dark places and really light places, and then the idea of all the lines of your hair kind of show. Okay?